the sounds of nature. If only we could recreate them as perfect as they are in our mixes. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as the perfect mix. But we can come close. Stay tuned.
First up, mic placement. The position of your microphone can make or break your recording. For vocals, a good starting point is placing the mic 6 to 12 inches away from your mouth, slightly off axis at about a 45-degree angle. This helps capture clear vocals while reducing plosive sounds like P and B. Remember, small adjustments can lead to significant differences. Train your ears to notice these changes. Set up the mic, record a bit, listen back, and adjust as needed. Next, let's talk about mic bleed, the unwanted pickup of other sounds by your microphone. To minimize this, use directional microphones to focus on the intended sound source. Place mics as close as practical to the source to increase the ratio of direct sound to ambient noise. Employ acoustic barriers between the sound sources. Consider inverting polarity on one mic to reduce bleed through phase cancellation.
Recording and mixing are about capturing and shaping sound accurately. This is the basis for using EQ. It's about either performing intricate surgery on a track that needs a lot of help or gently smoothing and refining audio, which takes us to part 2 of the equation. Making these adjustments with EQ requires a discerning ear that recognizes issues when it hears them, and then recognizes when the EQ adjustment helps the audio sit right in the mix. Both headphones and monitors aim to provide a clear representation of your audio, but they do so in fundamentally different ways. So, to help you make the proper adjustments to the proper EQ frequencies, we need a near-perfect listening environment. I'll send it over to William for more on this topic.
Studio monitors are specialized loudspeakers designed for critical listening. The preferred monitors are built to have a flat frequency response, meaning they reproduce sound without adding unwanted coloration or emphasis to certain frequencies. They project sound into the room, creating a listening environment where you hear the audio interacting with the space. Keep that in mind when we get to acoustic treatment of the room. Headphones, in contrast, deliver sound directly to your ears, bypassing the acoustics of your room. This offers isolation from external noise and a very direct and detailed listening experience. So, which one should you use? When tracking individual instruments or vocals, headphones are usually the go-to. Preventing bleed. The primary reason is isolation. Headphones prevent the sound from the monitors bleeding into the microphones. Imagine recording a delicate piano piece for a jazz project part with the sound of the upright bass leaking in from the monitors. Headphones allow each performer to have a personalized monitor mix, meaning they can hear themselves and the other musicians at levels that work best for them.
Hey creators, I just wanted to take a quick minute to invite you to become a member of this channel. Ever find yourself geeking out over the latest gear or searching for that perfect setup tip? Welcome to the FX Studio 2 community, your new creative hub. Here, we dive deep into gear discussions, share innovative ideas, and offer suggestions to elevate our setups. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this is the place to connect, learn, and grow together. Join us, share your thoughts, and let's build a community where creativity thrives. Ready to be part of the conversation? Just follow these simple steps on your screen and become a member of the FX Studio 2 community today. Let's create something amazing together. All part of the new FX Studio 2. See you inside. And now, back to the video.
Monitors, on the other hand, create a stereo image that allows you to perceive the placement of instruments in a three-dimensional space, width, depth, and even height to some extent. This is crucial for creating a balanced and immersive mix, especially if you're doing 3D sound projects, where headphones would certainly be out of question, while room acoustics can be a major headache. Listening through monitors allows you to hear how your mix translates in a real-world environment. Feeling the bass frequencies through your body as sound waves move air is a significant part of the listening experience that headphones often struggle to replicate. There are disadvantages of monitors. Room acoustics can be a huge problem. Untreated rooms can severely distort the sound you hear from your monitors due to reflections causing cancellations and reinforcements at different frequencies. This can lead to inaccurate mixing decisions. The sound you hear from your monitors will change depending on your listening position in the room. The sweet spot is a limited area where the stereo image and frequency response are most accurate. Headphones provide excellent isolation from external noise, allowing you to focus on the intricate details of your mix. You can hear subtle clicks, pops, and nuances that might be masked by room reflections when using monitors. Headphones bypass the acoustics of your room, providing a more consistent listening experience. There are some disadvantages of using headphones. For example, the extreme separation of left and right channels in headphones can lead to a less natural and more inside-your-head stereo image compared to monitors. This can make panning decisions difficult. Next to consider is listening fatigue. Extended headphone use can lead to ear fatigue and potential hearing damage if listening levels are too high.
Now, let's address your room's acoustics. Proper treatment can drastically improve your recordings. Here's a pro tip on using acoustic panels. Use the mirror trick. Have someone move a mirror along the walls while you sit at your mixing position. Wherever you see the speaker in the mirror is a reflection point. Treat these areas with acoustic panels. Use pop filters to reduce plosives. Record in isolation when possible to prevent bleed. Isolation booths can come in many different sizes and types. Here is what I refer to as an open-air mic isolation booth, where the vocalist sings into the mic, and any outside noise is blocked via the ISO pad surrounding it. Another is the fully closed booth like the one seen here, that completely isolates the subject, giving better acoustics and less outside noise. I'll send it over to G Sharp, who will wrap this all up for us.
Okay, welcome back. Just before I wrap this up, wanted to address something real quick. Got a couple of emails, everyone saying, gee, how come you never show us the studio? Well, because quite honestly, it is a pure tea mess in here. Like I said before, I've got a lot to do in here. I'm upgrading, I'm renovating, I'm doing a lot of work in here. It's going to take a while. I can't wait to get it done so I can get back to work and start making some videos where you can actually see the work environment that I'm in. And speaking of environments, like that segue there, speaking of environments, this video was all about the environment that you're in. How the use of headphones, how the use of EQ, and how the use of monitors are all affected by the environment that you're working in. Now, I've heard people say you should never use headphones because they're not a good representation of a real world environment. I've heard other people say you should never use monitors because the sound is going to be bouncing all over the place and you're not getting a really good representation of a real world environment and how the listener will ultimately perceive what they're listening to. So which one is right? They're both right. Which one is wrong? Neither one of them are wrong. It all depends on the environment that you're in. Are you in the tracking stage of your project? Are you in the mixing stage of your project? What does the environment look like? Do you have a well-treated room, acoustically treated room, or is the room poorly acoustically treated? All of these things are going to be taken into consideration when you're deciding, should I be adding EQ here, and how much of it should I be adding? Why is it that I got to add so much EQ? If you're sitting in your studio and you find yourself constantly reaching for that EQ knob, it's probably the acoustics in your room or poor mic placement. Something's going on there that you need to take a closer look at what you're doing in that studio. It could be a matter of you're using headphones, but you're trying to get something that's going to be very spacious. In that particular case, maybe you should be using monitors. If you're trying to tweak something and fine tune something, do you really want to use monitors? Should you be using headphones so that it's right there so you can hear every little tick and hum and buzz, every little minute detail? There you want to use headphones. That's the purpose of this video. There is no right or wrong answer. It all depends on the particular situation that you're in. Hope you got something out of this video. Hope to see you back next week when I have a new video coming out. Until then, everybody stay safe, take care, keep creating, and I'm going to get busy inside this room and start. I'm not looking forward to this. Anyway, I'll see you next time.